All right, we're live. You got 6. Yep. All right, 6 p.m. We'll call the regular village board meeting to order. Would you all join me in a moment of silence? The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's like we're at the ballpark.
Next week you're going to have it
Yeah.
It's better each week.
Madam Clerk, you have the roll.
Trustee Mann.
Here.
Trustee Gerger.
Present.
Trustee Fountain.
Here.
Trustee Detmers.
Here.
Trustee Mao. Trustee Churchill.
Present.
Village President Kimsey.
Present. Can I have a motion to allow Trustee Mao to participate via phone?
I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome to the meeting, Trustee Mao.
Thank you.
Any public announcements this evening? Hearing none, Ms. Parker, have you down for public comment?
Yes. Do we have to go there?
Yeah, you get by the microphone here so everybody can hear.
I got a big mouth. It's only one. Okay, here I am again. You're not gonna like me again. I saw something that was printed online, and I brought it in. I asked, it's not my writing, the beginning of it. And I asked the person if I could read it here, and they said sure. And so I've got permission. And it says, there was a talk about the billings in the water. It says, so by their own admission, they had wrong components on the meters, causing the customer to be overcharged for years. And their next move is to increase the cost of testing the meters. This situation is out of control. Our rates are outrageous. The water sucks. The bills are do not make sense with comparisons to square footage and usage. The meters have sometimes been incorrectly configured, and our late fees were worse than predatory lenders. To our village board, you are moving things in the wrong direction. You need to at least suspend the late fees until people can trust their bills and the equipment that's used to generate them. And to see, after that, the rates need to be evaluated and investigated to see why some are paying more than their real usage reflects. The last thing that should ever be done with the utilities is any increase and further hardship to anyone. And that being said, I commented, so now we're going to be stiffed again for the cost of meter testing. Should we need to do that? Is the village of Chatham deliberately trying to force people to leave? Given the exorbitant costs associated with our utilities? It sure looks that way. The people responsible with getting Chatham involved with the state, with the building of the SSWC, which produces unsatisfactory water, are the same people who signed us up for IMEA, the electrical provider that is constantly raising its rates, both supposedly with unbreakable contracts. I and others in Chatham have boxes of documents that show how foolhardy and unprofessional both endeavors are. It's time to get in touch with the taxpayers of Chatham. I suggest regular meetings to hear what people are worried about and what they would like to see done to make Chatham a little bit better. and to stop the secrecy about the way the village is run.
Thank you, Ms. Park.
I forgot to sign up.
Well, come on up, Bonnie.
I mean, it's been a while, guys. I'll sign it though. I was trying to make sure I was speaking at the right time. I'm gonna give you this piece of paper. In fact, I'll give it to Pat. Pat accept it from me. I've got a couple of things on the warrants that scares me. Imagine that. I guess, first of all, I'll just give this, because I know we don't like to do questions and answers here, so what I do is, Pat, if you could accept this little piece of paper when I'm done, and maybe one of you guys can get back to me on some of these answers, I'd really appreciate it. First of all, mine are maybe, but it's about $2,100. We've got two phone companies for the village of Chatham, Verizon and Comcast Business. I'm not sure why. Okay. The metered water usage for the SSWC coming in at about $264,000. Where's this meter read? Was it before or after we sent water through to New Berlin? Don't have to answer. I'm gonna give you this paperwork. I guess what threw me for a loop was the flower sanitation. How large of a dumpster is that over there for $4,600 for one dump? That's a lot of money for $4,600 for one dump with flowers, and I just need to know the size of the dumpster because that would tell me quite a bit. And then the monthly metered water usage for September for City Water, Light, and Power. I'd like to know if that $1,200, $1,210.28, is that the flat fee for the month that we pay monthly to have our contract? How much did you get that? Look, did you give me? Is that a flat fee that we pay every month, and then if we use City Water, Light, and Power, of course it goes up? I just want to know if that $1,200 is the flat fee monthly. And then City Water, Light, and Power electric expenses. It's a little vague, $2,712.33. We switched to a broker for our electric, so I wasn't sure what electric expenses that this village would have as far as us paying City Water, Light, and Power, when myself, I think the rates, they're comparable right now, but with us going with a broker and getting our electric, that scares me because you don't know what those rates are going to look like, up and down. So what is being supplied for City Water, Light, and Power electric? Question. And then the biggest thing is, well, it's not, because I don't know who this person is, so I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm just going to give it to you and hope you can explain a $400 grave digging charge. But the biggest one is $12,624.90. It's listed as general water investigation. General is a little vague for this village, okay? Little vague for $12,624. So those are a couple little things that, I'm just throwing out there. And like I said, I've been here enough times to know that questions and answers are not a good thing at this village meeting. So I'm just going to make sure that Pat, which I'm sure he's got my number here, that somebody can get back to me. And last but not least, Village of Chatham, 9th out of 50 for towns. I gotta tell you, most of you that know me or have done a background to find out what this crazy woman's like, know my kids grew up here. They went to school here, kindergarten, graduated. They moved back. They brought their families here. I had a really nice house in Springfield, but you know what? I chose to move to Chatham as well for my kids and my grandkids. I don't regret that decision whatsoever. None. Getting number 9, wow. You looked sort of smiley on TV last night, too. Remember, it's a village. It's not a city. And being a village, I think, gives the citizens the right to stand up here and get answers from you guys. Mayor Gray gave us, 16 great years. I mean, he sat up there for 16 years and took a lot of crap from citizens. He did a lot. You're now in that seat, President Kimsey. Please do not get so comfortable in that seat that you screw up your time as the president of this village. We got to slow down the growth. And the only reason why we got to slow down the growth, in my opinion, and by my research, is because of the fact that we still have a major issue with the water. We're going to start having a major issue with the electric rates too if we're buying from a broker instead of from City Water and Light and Power. You guys spend $500,000 on a Vector truck. That's a question you could have on there. How much has that Vector truck been used? For $500,000 for a Vector that was way too big.
Bonnie, you reached your time. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do I have a motion to put the consent agenda on the table?
So moved.
Make a motion.
I do have a second.
Second.
Motion by trustee Miles, second by trustee Churchill. Questions or discussion regarding the minutes or the warrants?
I have a thing that needs to be removed from the warrants.
Yes.
On the second page 4 that's in the document, there's a bill on there for fairing iron for 3 items. One of those items was an estimate for a safety railing across the street. It hasn't been installed yet, so it got put in with the bills, but we're not going to pay it. We're not going to pay any of those bills at this time, so we're just going to ask that
Remove all the fairing.
all the fairing iron, and there's 3 items there. I think I circled it on the warrants. Where
I think you approve as amended. We have an objection to removing that from the consent.
No.
No objection.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, can you take the vote with the fairing ironworks in
Yep.
uses removed?
Trustee Mann.
Yes.
Trustee Gerger.
Yes.
Trustee Fountain.
Yes.
Trustee Detmers.
Yes.
Trustee Mao.
Yes.
Trustee Churchill.
Yes.
No old business under new business. Item 1 should be item 3. Item 2 is the Chatham meter testing ordinance. I'd like to have a motion to move this to the Utilities Committee.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item 3, the Gordon Drive zoning variance. We need no action on this, correct? I'm gonna let
just
you-
give you a little background on it if you want, but a gentleman approached the village. He owned a piece of property on Gordon Drive. The piece of property is zoned P1. He wanted to put a structure, an auxiliary structure on the back part of it that exceeded the height requirement in an R1 zoning. But this was already P1.
Now, is that south of the old Chatham Zoo property?
It is.
Okay. All right.
And I think they're in the process of starting to put that up now. Then they're going to put a house on the front part of it. Well, they just wanted to make sure that it was okay. He didn't want to spend all this expense of putting this building up. So they went through the Zoning Board of Appeals to find out if anybody had a problem with that building going up. They notified all of the neighbors and stuff, and the Zoning Board of Appeals voted 6-0 to allow it. But it is allowed in its current zoning, so there's really nothing for the board to act on tonight. But we do have it on hand that if we have to go back and revisit it, the Zoning Board of Appeals heard this. And if there's any questions or problems with it and stuff like that, so.
Well, Pat, for whatever it's worth, I know when the sign went up, for the ordinance that there was going to be a zoning, I know some neighbors said some things to me that they saw it and they had no problems with it.
Yeah.
So.
It's a fairly big sized lot.
Yeah.
There's going to be a house up here, and I think the outbuilding's going to be in the back.
Do we have any additional public comments on village business this evening? Hearing none. Schedule meetings. Public Properties Recreation Commission meeting, 6 p.m. November 12th. Village Board meets again 6 p.m. the 13th, followed by the Committee of the Whole. Chatham Police Commission, 5:30 November 15th. Planning Commission, 6 p.m. November 15th. ADA Transition Plan Committee, 6 p.m. the 20th. Terry?
Yes.
Village Board, 6 p.m. November 27th. Utility Oversight Committee,
6 p.m. December 10th.
And then I will mention that I will probably be calling in on the November 13th meeting, village board meeting, and the committee of the whole.
You're going to have a better excuse than Matt.
It will be work related.
All right, no other business. No need for closed session this evening. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Also second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting stands adjourned.
Rookie. Let's make some motions.
Usual.
Get in the game.